this entire month is a month dedicated towards celebrating women around the globe in different ways, in different shapes, in different forms. With the theme of Invest in Women, we're seeing several women in their specific spaces curating different ways to project how we can accelerate women's growth. Now, of course, we've had Natasha on the show, and she had this amazing event in the Federal Capital Territory. It was a luncheon that she hosted for women, by women. It happened at Abuja's Continental Hotel. It was absolutely amazing. And my guest on the show today equally speaks to the celebration of women. Now, you will remember my guest from the very, very popular reality TV show, Real Housewives of Abuja. Let's talk about Comfort Booth. Now, she is definitely a woman who speaks to the very idea of embracing who you are. I asked her how would she describe herself, and she said quirky, honest, she said stubborn, and she joins me on the show. This is Comfort Booth. It's great to have you on the show. I mean, I see you looking at these images and you're laughing, you're enjoying them. Yeah. What exactly is making you laugh right now?
Just the fact that you said that I was laughing at the fact that I said I'm honest.
No, but really, you know, we had that stubborn. You know, we had that conversation earlier today, right? And I said to you, describe yourself.
Yes.
And what did you tell me?
I said I was quirky, quirky, stubborn, adventurous, and quite a number of other things that I said, okay, people say, so.
And I love that for you 1000%. Now, Comfort, let's get to the crux of it all.
Yes.
The reason we're here today is because it's International Women's Month, and there's so many facets to this conversation. What I loved about this event that Natasha put together was the fact that it brought women from various aspects of the society. She had some housewives there as well. You know, I would have loved to be there, but I felt terribly ill. But it was women just projecting who they are in their most authentic form. And that's something that I see you really doing. Although I didn't see a lot of that in the house. All I got from you as a housewife was, I would rather not be here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, catch a nice one. So do you want to put that as a question?
Of course. So how was, basically tell me if that experience is, would you validate that experience? Would you say that was your experience in the house? What was it like being a real housewife, basically?
You were right. After a certain time, I said, okay, TV.
Yes, TV. We got to be TV language friendly.
Okay, what am I doing here? And at the time that I was scouted and cast, I was looking for an adventure. I was looking for something else to do. You know, after a while, your life just becomes monotonous and boring, and you're just looking for, you know, what else can I do? I mean, there's a lot to me. And it brought this opportunity. I hadn't watched any episode of Real Housewives of anything, you know, and all that. And you just said, oh, you know, looking for this, blah, blah, blah. You just wear some clothes, come, you know, have some events with other females. And that was it. And I think that was my first mistake. I went in there pretty blank, just with no expectations. I took it face value. We're going to just be with other women. That was it. And I said, how hard can that be? Guess what? Because I'm a woman. Nadia Kasala boss.
It wasn't anything like what you expected.
As in, you know, you'd say, okay, but Comfort, you do have female friends. And yes, I do. But when I took an inventory of the friends that I have, I noticed one thread that ran through them. And in fact, the thing is that I would say that they were more masculine in their approach. And without taking anything from them as females, that masculine part of it meant that they were less emotional about how they handled things and were more constructive and more logical and analytical in how they would deploy. And that clearly meant, that clearly translated into why we were friends. Now, when dealing with a group of women who are more, you know, more woman-like, I had a problem with that. So I was really in waters that were above me.
Yeah.
So to speak, because I'm more of, I don't know how they say it now, is it a guy's girl or a girl's guy? My friends,
a girl.
Top.
Wait, put it in context so I know what it is exactly.
Okay, so that means a female whose friends are mainly guys. So it's more like you're
being raised girl. You've been raised around guys.
Raised with guys, exactly. So, you know, I mean, I understood them. That's where I, you know, that's where I played. I understood them. I didn't really play with females and understand the nuances and the complexity. So even the complexities that men, you know, would complain or talk about, I just looked at it, you're dealing with a woman now, and you will complain now, you know. not in the context of me being a female dealing with my female folk. So that was the most challenging thing. Oh my goodness, Kachi.
But what's wrong with female friends? And what's wrong with being around female friends? Why was that a difficulty for you?
So do you want me to start with, you say what's wrong with being with female friends?
Okay, let's start with
friends.
Friends, yes. What's wrong with female? Let's start with what's wrong with female friends. Would you say it was just your personality, or there was something that I would say was a woman thing that you just could not relate with?
Okay, so it's the second one. It was just a woman thing that I couldn't relate with. And the relating with here goes down to the fact that, again, I think it's maybe something that we too as females have bought into when they say in a woman now, it's the way women behave. So, and what are those things that they say we're prone to? Jealousy, pettiness, envy, gossip. And then so I think it's spoken to us, we've taken it, and then we exude it. Even if not, there's really no need for any of the things that happen. See, there's nothing wrong. I mean, your teeth and your tongue will fight, isn't it? But don't they have to reside together?
They have to reside
My
together.
point exactly. But it's the way you express yourself. It's the consciousness that you have about the other person. Why is it that men are able to have the worst spats? And you just say, bros, one beer.
I know.
And then it's over.
Kiss and make up is over.
And then they
see the women do same and they say, now woman matter, leave them.
So I think so when the International Women's Day thing came out, I said, please, not another mouthful. What was the counter in? Invest in women, accelerate progress. See, for me, it was bullocks. If we cannot, we women, we're always looking outside. It's every other person's fault but our own. We are the ones that tear each other down. We are the ones. The men don't do it. We are the ones that sell each other down the river. We're the ones that go with the information and give other females or other men or whoever it is to bring us down. We're the ones. So if we're going to counter in, to invest in her, to accelerate progress, then we have to start at home. We have to dismantle all these blocks. If I upset you, please don't go to the fact that my nose is bigger than my face. That's not the issue. The issue is that I upset you because I didn't come on time. Can we stick to that? What has my nose and the ugliness of it got to do with anything? What has the fact that 10 years ago I dated your boyfriend and you did not like it?
Why did you date the person?
Because with my destiny said he's the one for me. What's wrong with that?
But but that is a valid question to ask, yeah? Now, let's not take away the side of emotions.
Okay.
Women are very emotional beings. And I've heard this said over and over and over again.
It's true.
And it influences everything that we do. So 2 things I want us to touch on now. Emotions and culture. Hormones. Let me not say emotions. Hormones.
Okay.
And culture. By culture, I mean our environment. The way we are raised as women.
Okay.
Are different, whether you're north, you're south, you're eastern, you're western. And then when I say hormones, I'm talking our emotions, I'm talking the way we feel, our respective, pretty feelings.
Okay.
These are 2 things that play such a huge role in how we all react.
Okay.
And of course, it's the same for men, in terms of how men are raised, in terms of what men have to deal with every month. I can't imagine just walking about the day, realizing that, listen, you don't have to probably take a probiotic ever in your life and you're good to go. But women, try it and you will know yourself. That type of thing, you have a lot of things you're constantly thinking of. How do I make sure that let's not even go to the biology of women, So putting these 2 things into perspective now, how do you think it has now influenced how we behave?
Okay, and I think that's a very fair question. But you see, because there's so much more information and freedom now, what has that done for me and you? That means now I know that as a female, in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to start ovulating, I'm going to start behaving erratic, I'm going to start crying, I'm going to start being whatever. So what does that tell me? That I need to plan for that. Now, I like gummy bears. Now, if I do not have gummy bears, I'm going to be an ogre. So what does that mean?
Get some gummy bears.
I go and stock up on it, because if I want people to be able to tolerate me, if I want to be able to go through the day, if I want to be able to do what I need to do, get through this couple of days or weeks or whatever it is, the period that the hormones are going to be up and about and all, I need those gummy bears. And guess what? I also need to tell those around me, hello, please look, this is the period. Yes, because you need a support system. I didn't make myself like this. This is how I came, and I have to deal with it. But I also understand that it's difficult for you. But you see, this is being intentional.
Yeah, that's the word I was waiting to hear. Intentional is the word.
So we've, for so long, for me, I think as women, we've relied on the fact that we're emotional and we're irrational and we've been allowed to get away with it. Yes. The men are analytical and we enjoy the fact that they're logical and they're able to run through certain things and all. So what we need is balance. I agree with you. The men do need to get more in touch with their emotions too. Please, not too much. Please, not just enough.
What do you mean by not too much? What do you mean by not?
Auntie, please. I need a man to see be a man, fair man.
But you see, these are the issues. These are the issues. The lines are now being blurred. Don't have too much emotion. Have a little emotion, but not too much.
Yes.
Be sensitive, but not too sensitive.
Yes, that's balance.
Be logical,
now.
But not too logical.
That's balance, Auntie.
How is that balance? What about just being yourself?
A weepy man. Go.
What about just being yourself? Because think about it this way, right? So now, speaking about your recent projects, you've been doing fantastic work. Again, you are
in
the northern space,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And it's. I feel like you're the voice for so many women that don't have this audacity that you have.
Audacity of hope.
The audacity of hope, exactly. You are that voice. You said you're turning 49 this year. In June. Now, you have a podcast where you're teaching women how to be more open about their sexuality.
40, please. I'm sticking to women who have arthritis,
of course.
Now, backache.
Of course. So women over 40.
Yes, over 40.
Over 40 who
yes.
need to be more open about their sexual health.
Yes.
And the realities of things that they feel and how they can be more vocal about it. Now, if we're going to just look at it from that angle alone, we're in a society where for the longest time, you don't talk about these things. As a matter of fact, I remember one time, I don't know, I was in a group of women and these women are way older than me. I'm talking my mom's age. Like, there's a woman that in their 50s, 60s, you know, they were just talking about the perks of being a young bride, right? And how, you know, when, you know, your husband comes home, you just kind of act a little coy and shy. Even if you want him to give you a nice tight hug, but don't act like you want the tight hug. Just giggle. Let's go. Hey,
no, but it's true. It's a thing.
It's a thing, but that is not realistic.
But on a serious note, when I was going, you know, to my own husband's
I thought it was a joke. I'm like,
no, it's not a joke. They sit down and they tell you all those things, and now that's part of the reason why, you know, I've started the mechanics behind this podcast you're talking about. That, for example, that's what I was told. Smell sweet. Be nice, drink your juices, you know, make sure that you have all those herbal things going on. You know, let Susie be happy. Susie is my nether region, you know. Let Susie be happy so that Oga is happy and all that. But nobody tells you that once you hit 40, every other thing is going to begin to fall apart. So all of a sudden, Susie was performing and all of a sudden, you don't even understand why the hell Susie is not performing and going on and all that. And those same mothers and aunties who should have told you at that point, I see, sister, when you get to this whatever, this is what you would need to do. This is the Rubicon you would have to cross and all that. And then me and you are in the closet talking to each other and crying and whispering and gossiping and typing at night. Meanwhile, we can't talk to the very men that we are going to be saddled with the rest of our lives. He is way less well equipped to handle the woman that you're going to become for the next 10 years. And remember, as you enter menopause, you start with premenopause first, then menopause. This is over a period of about 10 years. So for the next 10 years, the man is watching a woman suddenly change. The woman,
he's confused.
Yes.
He's wondering, what did
the woman, you don't even know what's happening to you. Note, because nobody has prepared you. What they prepared you for was to be sweet, clean, nice, coy, sweet. That's what you were prepared for. Then the man, who is already clueless about so many things, is further clueless.
And they're all wondering what is happening.
So don't you think it's time we
Of course, it is time to start having these conversations. And you know what I would say as well? While you're having these conversations, it's also very important to, like you said, that balance of, because I fear that we might have people suddenly feel this is now an attack towards vulnerability. Like, for instance, you rightly said something. You said so a lot of people would go in their little corners and they will have these conversations. Now, for some people, that is how they like to be vulnerable. For some people, the reason they don't talk about these things is the fear of, what if he doesn't understand what I'm saying? What if it pushes him further away? So that vulnerable moment is when I'm in my closet. It might not be out there, but it's in my closet. We were just speaking about women and women relations, how our emotions, our culture. What are the odds that if I come out and I tell Comfort Booth that, listen, this is what she will not now go and tell Amaka, who will tell Chioma, and then the next thing you know, I become a subject on Diary of a Naija Girl because there's somebody sent my problems to her, and she's putting it out online, and I'm watching, and I'm like, what? Wow. So these are the real issues. An attack on vulnerability. Why does vulnerability need to be out there too? Why can't I be vulnerable with myself or with somebody close? Why do I have to post it on Twitter to show that yes, I'm healed and I'm fine? Why do I have to talk about it? What if I just don't want to put it out there?
I like that. I like the fact that she brought the issue of social media in, and I think that's part of the damage also that social media has done to us because of what it promotes, which says that you don't have any value or you're not seen or whatever unless you put everything out there. And it's not true. And I agree with you. You should be able to be vulnerable and, say your things in the closet and all. But we don't want you to only say it in the closet. Do you want the orgasm? Do you want to talk to your man? Do you want to be happy? Do you want to be able to enjoy? Look, at 40, half your life is gone. You can't receive it again. And the next one's comes with his own problem. Yeah. You are on medicine. You have diabetes. You have high blood pressure.
Unless you're very healthy and eating well.
Let's be honest, how many of us are?
Which is another thing you should also include. The health aspect. That's very important.
That's what we're saying. So the quality of what you're even going to be enjoying now would have diminished. Yeah. So how do you want to now live the rest of your life again? Still in that closet? No. So the whole idea here is to embolden you and say, look, you're in your husband's house, you still have this, whatever. You guys are still together, especially for those that are together. Come out and it's time to talk.
It's time to talk.
Uncle, for the next 10 years, it be like say something is going to be happening. There'll even come a time that I don't even want to see you, I don't want to touch you, don't touch me, don't whatever at all. Yeah. But please, can we now begin to learn those other things that can make me happy and make you happy, so that there's no way that you're running and leaving me because we're in this together.
You know what? In a way, I am grateful for Real Housewives of Abuja because the world would have never had a comfort booth who is this vocal and so passionate about this conversation. That some people are just like, I'm sure people are looking at it like, did you say she's northern? How?
I am.
What do you mean? Anyway, Comfort Booth, good luck with this podcast. I'm definitely going to be looking forward to it.
It's not only podcast too.
Yes, of course, I know you have your TV show that you're currently working
Talking
on.
Booth.
Talking Booth, exactly.
Yes,
and you've had several guests on it already.
Apart from that, I'm written my... Finally,
a book, right?
Compilation of short stories, of which I even have options as I want to do short movies and hopefully submit for AFRIF this year.
Oh, so good luck. AFRIF is such a fantastic platform. Yes, we are a huge part of it. So I really look forward to seeing your work on that big stage. Comfort Booth again. Thank you. And you look amazing. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Nice one.
You're welcome.